Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and a most welcome guest. A very warm welcome to the 17th meeting of the Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club. It's always a pleasure to come together in a space where learning is intentional and growth is continuous. As we begin today, I'm reminded of the words of Robin Sharma, a renowned leadership expert who said, small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. And that is exactly what we do here. Meeting after meeting, we refine our skills, support one another, and grow a little more each time. This evening promises an engaging speech, thoughtful evaluations, and, as always, our signature panel evaluation, where we deepen our learning by reflecting together. Before we begin, just a few quiet reminders. Please keep your phones muted when not speaking, and if possible, keep your video on so we can stay connected and engaged. With that, let us look forward to another meaningful session of learning and connection. To take us forward, may I invite our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty, a leader whose steady presence keeps our club focused and growing. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Savita Salian. Let's begin by giving Savita a huge round of applause for the way she begins her meeting with her warm smile and well prepared opening. Thank you very much, Savita. A warm welcome to your members to yet another brand new meeting of Champion Evaluators. We're still waiting for a couple of new members our members to join. While they join, we will carry forward with the meeting. Now, I want to start by asking a question to all of you. When was the last time you did something bold, something that you weren't comfortable with? Just Malini ma'am? Yes, Durai? Who else? Okay. So I'll start with Malini ma'am. What is that bold thing that you did, ma'am?
You were a witness to the bold thing I did yesterday as the contestant at the division level contest. So
Yes, very good. So before I congratulate all of you, I'm going to listen to all of you and say a small story so we can just link it to the moral and we can apply it in our life. So Daryl, what was the bold thing that you did? The same thing? You spoke at the division level?
Ditto.
All right. Okay, very good. Durai, what was the bold thing that you did?
Yeah, the bold thing which I did was joining in the Toastmasters, and it's been 1 year for me here, and I attained division level contest, going to be in the division level contest stage. So I'm so proud of me. That is the bold
Very
thing which
good.
I did. Yeah,
Very good. I like someone saying, I'm so proud of myself. Fantastic.
yeah. Thank
That's
you.
lovely. So I have another question for you, Malini ma'am. So you've done something bold, right? So can you just briefly tell me in 30 seconds what was your experience? What did it put you through? Was the experience comfortable?
one always has a doubt before taking up an assignment of this kind. In my case, it is the question of whether I'm too old for such things. But I remembered Phyllis, Maria Phyllis de Costa, and I thought age is not a bar at all. It is not a hindrance. And I felt completely encouraged by the Toastmasters of the division. So I felt happy about that.
Hmm. Fantastic. Daryl, what about you?
So for me, what was challenging is I don't like table topics. Giving a session is fine, but attempting it is not my cup of tea. And that's something that probably I'm trying to push away. The more I'm pushing it away, it's coming closer. So that's what happened yesterday.
So I think you have to just be careful, watch out what you manifest, right? And probably you must have manifested table topics. All right. So once upon a time, there were two lions in a jungle. But one of the lions that was there, it had a very, very comfortable environment. It was in an environment, it lived in lush greenery and it had river, it had water, it had even animals around it, animals like zebras, antelopes, gazelle. So stomach was always full. It didn't have to work very hard. All it had to do is go, hunt, probably just move a little bit, eat, sleep, and get fat. But over a period of time, this particular lion got lazy because its survival instincts got a bit rusty. Whereas on the other side, the second lion was living on the top of a mountain in a dark, deep, dark cave. Harsh conditions, cruel conditions. All it had to do is go out there, and it had to really fetch and fight for survival. Go out there, kill those animals, and animals were not easily available. So most of the time it was even hungry. But what happened is that over a period of time, it sharpened its skills. Sensory skills like smelling, seeing, feeling, every single thing got improved to the maximum. And even its claws became its dearest weapon because it was able to sharpen its claws. So you exactly understand what I'm trying to say now, the difference between these two lions. Because when you're in a comfortable situation, what happens is that you get so comfortable that you also lose your instinctive behaviors. Whereas the other lion was actually sharpening its skills and getting better day by day. So the three members who spoke today, that is DTM Malini Hebbar, Daryl Rodrigues, and Durai, who spoke today, said that they tried something bold and new. But if you actually see, go back and see, it has actually sharpened your skill. And that's the reason DTM Malini Hebbar was able to go and win first place at the division level in HSC and ISC. There were good people out there, there were good speakers out there, but she worked on herself, and that's why they say fortune favors the bold. Daryl was bold, Malini ma'am was bold, and Durai also is here today delivering his international speech contest speech, because at 1 year back or 1.5 years back, he took that bold step of joining Toastmasters. And I think the moral of the story is that this is a journey that we have to embark on, because fortune always favors the bold. There is no luck, there is no timing, there is just hard work and smart work. With that, I'm so glad to say that our own members have gone there and shone. They were the shining stars yesterday in the Division F contest. I went to the division. I've been going to a lot of division contests. I think this is a third contest that has been happening, and the quality of the contest that was there by far was par excellence. And I was so happy because our own members, DTM Malini Hebbar, won first place in the ISC and the HSC contest, that's Humorous Speech Contest, and the International Speech Contest, and she will be representing Division F at the district level. That is the crescendo happening on 8th, 9th, and 10th. On the other side, we have Daryl, who manifested evaluation, but he actually manifested table topics, and he won first in the table topic contest. And he will be representing our club, not our club, let's debate, but he's also a member of our club, as a candidate or a contestant in the table topic contest. But he also won second place in the third place in the evaluation contest. And Daryl, I'm sure there is something more to learn, something more to sharpen. Probably you need to sharpen your vocabulary, not the vocabulary, you're very good in your vocabulary skills, but I think probably your evaluation skills, it's like sharpening your claws. We also had Kiran Vasant, who won second place in the International Speech Contest, and also in the, was it the evaluation? What was that he won? Yes, he won second place in the ISC contest and third place in the Humorous Speech Contest. So we're so proud of all three of you, and believe me, this makes us so happy, because when our members go out there and fight out in those bigger stages, it is definitely an inspiration for all of us to keep trying and doing more. So thank you for being that inspiration, and we're really look forward for you to prepare yourself well and go there on the district stage and make us proud. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to bring the trophy. If you bring, well and good, but we are really happy seeing you on that stage. So can we all unmute ourselves and say congratulations to Daryl and DTM Malini Hebbar and clap for them as loud as we can. Hearty congratulations.
Congrats.
Hearty congratulations.
Thank you.
Super
Thank you.
duper proud. And there's also another news. The other news is that our very own VP Education, Distinguished Toastmaster Daryl Rodrigues, has today become double DTM. He's completed his second DTM, and we're so proud of you, Daryl. And that's inspiring for me to now race and probably catch up with my second DTM as well, which probably will happen in due course. All right, we have a few new faces here today, and I would like to request you to please introduce yourself. I'd like to start with our speaker who's here today, Toastmaster Durai Murugan. Over to you, Durai. If you
Yeah,
can please introduce yourself.
sure. Thank you, DTM Jyotika Shetty. Good evening, one and all, once again. I'm so glad to be here in this meeting today. I'm a software engineer. I'm located in Coimbatore. I'm working for Bosch as a software engineer. I have 8 years of experience in IT, and I'm more into testing part. And regarding my personal life, I was born in Naharkoil, Tamil Nadu, and I brought up in Tenkasi, that is south part of Tamil Nadu. And today I'm here for delivering my ISC speech, which I'm going to deliver in my division contest on April 18th, Division G. And to say about my Toastmasters journey, last year March I have joined Toastmasters, and it's, I'm learning many things from Toastmasters. It gave me the confidence. It eradicated the stage fear of mine, and many more to go. Yeah, thank you. Back to you.
Mr. Trump says, thank you very much, Durai. Like Mr. Trump says, we obliterated the fear. All right. So warm welcome, and we're really happy to have you as a speaker here and host you today. Thank you very much. All right, let's move to Anbumani Velusamy. Warm welcome again for the second time, Anbu, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed, you're right.
Yes,
It's my
please
second time,
introduce
and
yourself.
thanks again for the invitation, Jyotika Shetty. I'm happy to be here, and I already know the speaker of the day, Thurai Murugan. Congratulations, and all the very best for your ISC on Division G. I'm Anbumani Velusamy, born and brought up in Coimbatore. I have 10 years of industrial experience in IT. I'm a lead software engineer working on domains related to transport management system and tank container operators around the globe. And I have 15 plus years of experience in stage speaking in my native language, Tamil. And I'm here to unlearn whatever I've learned in those 15 years. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anbu. We are very, very happy to have you here. And yes, Deepa, were you saying something? No, all right, okay. Thank you. We are very happy to have you here. And I must say that our geography is getting a little better, at least mine, with District 230 being, with Tamil Nadu being a part of District 230. I'm so happy that I know my geography is getting better with Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So I'm really happy about it. All right, let's now move on to Gunjan Agarwal. Could you please unmute your, yes, you've already unmuted. If you can switch on your video, if it's convenient.
I apologize, I won't be able to do.
No worries, no worries. Please introduce yourself.
I believe this is my second or third meeting. First of all, congratulations to Daryl, Malini, and all the very best to the Rai for your contest, and congratulations to both the folks. As you guys have the one goal. Even I also have to become a district champion of evaluation. So I'm looking forward to learn here and there with lots of source which is available and grab as much as I can with my own skills. Apart from this, I am a very extremely very social person. 2 years back, I came to know about Toastmasters. At first level, I didn't check out what is Toastmaster. Then something made me very curious, and I realized this is something a right platform for me because, as I mentioned, I'm very social butterfly type of a girl. I am a person who do toast, roast, day and night, weekday, weekend. Wherever I get free time, even if I'm having any of my week, I just join any meeting. And I was waiting for this meeting as well. I think I asked with Daryl also when you guys have a next meeting. So
All
yes.
right. Thank you very much
for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gunjan. I'd like to tell everyone that Gunjan is District 92 area champion in evaluation segment, and I think she will be representing, right, Gunjan, at the division level. When is it? When is the division contest?
Yes,
or is it over?
it's on 25th of April.
25th of April. And we would like to wish you all the very best, and I hope you really have good takeaways from this meeting today.
Yes.
All right, it's now time. Before I move on to the meeting, the main meeting, I'd like to ask you, all of you, do you have any achievements that you want to share? Because we've spoken about the achievements of Daryl, DTM Malini Hebar, and Kiran. Is there anything else anyone would like to share? Yes? No? 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 All right. All right. So it's now time to move to the main crux of the meeting, and that meeting will be taken forward taken forward today by our very own champion, district champion, division champion for now. And she's a Toastmaster for more than 20 years and someone that I look up to. And there's one thing that I'm really proud of is that she has taught literally, I think, 70 to 75% of the girls in Mangalore, because has been an English professor for more than 35 years in the city of Mangalore. A versatile person, someone that we can learn so much from, be it humor, be it speaking, evaluation, anything and everything. Someone that we are really fortunate to have around. Please help me welcome 4 times Distinguished Toastmaster, our very own Distinguished Toastmaster, Malini Hebbar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jyotika. Forgetting that you were speaking about me, I was about to say, wow, wow, wow. You gave me such an introduction. When you asked a little while ago about the bold thing that I did, I went back to yesterday. I think I should change my answer. And I say that the most recent bold thing is to have accepted the role of the TA Modi of this particular meeting. And if you ask me why, this is the 17th meeting of champion evaluators. And this is the first time I have taken over as the Toastmaster of the day. And the structure of the meeting is quite different. That is why for the first time in my life, I'm a bit nervous about being the Toastmaster of the day. But I must say that the 2 phenomenal ladies who spoke before me have infused me with the sense of confidence. And my reference, of course, is to the immediate past district director and immediate past division director, both distinguished Toastmasters, Savita Salyan and Jyotika Shetty. And if I say that, I would like to connect it to number 17. Today is the 17th meeting. And number 17 brings to my mind the idea that number 17 gets associated with Prajapati, okay? The ruler of all creatures, 17 aspects of nature and cosmic time, I believe. But then I won't change and say Prajapatnis and all that because I'm a feminist. So I will take the term Prajapati as applicable to these 2 great leaders, Distinguished Toastmaster Savita and Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika. And I take courage from these 2 to take this particular meeting smoothly. And while going through this meeting, I will also focus on number 17 a little more. But before that, let me also say that as most of us know, and a few of our guests may not know, this is a Toastmaster club with a difference. Our focus is entirely on evaluation. That is why we have the name Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club. So we have the speech because without a speech, we cannot have any evaluation. So the first part is the prepared speech part, and then we have the evaluation, and we have the cluster evaluation most of the times. Sometimes one speaker, one evaluator, sometimes one speaker with a cluster of evaluators. And today we have that cluster evaluation where we have one speaker and 2 evaluators. And the highlight of the meeting is, of course, the panel discussion where we have a moderator and 2 panelists coming and evaluating the evaluators. And all those of you who look forward to an improvement in the area of evaluation will be very happy that you attended this particular meeting. Now, Jyotika said that Malini Mukund sharpened her claws by taking up the role of the timer. Yes, of course, Malini Mukund is our timer. She has already displayed the flag. So I think the platform is set for our prepared speech. So is it all right for us to begin with the prepared speech? I think the timer will also be highlighted. This is for the, this is for the information of our, I would like to refer to our speaker as our test speaker, okay? You are our designated speaker. Because in contests, we have the designated speaker and we have evaluators coming and giving the evaluation. In the same manner, we will have two evaluators coming and evaluating you. I'm very happy that our test speaker has introduced himself. I think nothing better than that, because when you speak about yourself, you can give all the details without missing out the most important details. We may focus on details which are not important, and the speaker might feel slightly disappointed. So I'm happy that you have introduced yourself. My task is to just tell the timer that it is a speech of 5 to 7 minutes. And since our test speaker is trying to improve himself before he faces the challenge at the division level, we do not have any specific speech objectives. We don't have purpose statements or speech objectives. This is the speech that is going to present as a contestant at the division level. So I would like to just announce the title and also tell a timer that the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Speaker of the day, do you want the display of flags, or is it all right if she displays it when the time comes? 5, 6, 7. Is that okay with you?
It's okay with me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
shall I now begin with the announcement of your name and the title of the speech? Are you all set? Do you want to take any audio test?
I don't
Can you-
want. I'm good.
Okay.
DT
you're-
Malini.
Yes. We can also say that you're good. We can hear you properly and we can also see you properly. Your position is also right. So Toastmasters and guests, are you all ready for the first and only speech of the day? All right. Durai Murugan M, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Durai Murugan M.
Raise your hands if you stood in front of a mirror today. Keep them raised if you like what you see. That's amazing. I could see many hands are raised up still. I was also one of you until 12 years old. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. I was invited to act in a play when I was 12 years old at my school. I acted in that play, but sadly, it was only one time ever in my life I performed. I had grown up listening to the stories of Ramayana from my grandmother. I know many of you admire Rama's character, isn't it? But my favorite character was Lakshmanan. Do you know why? Whenever I heard something about Lakshmanan, I got fascinated. His loyalty, his devotion, the way he stood by his brother's side. When I was in 7th grade, my school announced an audition for Lakshmanan role. Oh my god, that was the happiest moment of my life. I started preparing intensely. In fact, I didn't prepare. I lived as Lakshmanan. Finally, the audition day arrived. I entered into the room with full of confidence and I performed to the fullest. I just nailed it. When I exit the room with pride, I saw Raju standing there. Raju waiting for his turn. He looked at me and said, "Is this audition is for Sita?" I got confused and I asked, "Why?" I heard a female voice. "Is that yours?" And he laughed at me. Maybe it was a joke for him, but for me, it became a wound. From that day, I started muting myself. With this low confidence, I grew up and I entered into my teenage. One day, I received a call from customer care. On the other side, it was a woman with pleasant voice. As a teenager, I was so happy until she said, "Hello, madam." My heart broken. "I'm not madam. I'm sir." "Oh, sorry, sir." exactly after two sentences. She again addressed me as Madam. For the entire conversation, she addressed me as Madam. This has not happened once or twice. This happened many times in my life. Now it may look funny for me. Back then, it made me to self doubt my voice. Whenever I stood in front of the mirror, I hated myself. Of course, we wouldn't able to hear our voice on the mirror, but I could see it and I hated it. This all grew insecurities within me. With all this low confidence, insecurities, and self doubt, I entered into my college days. During college, we often have to give presentations, right? After such one presentation, I was standing in the corridor. A girl named Vaishnavi came near to me. She said, Durai, I liked your presentation and I liked your voice. For the first time in my entire life, a human, that too a girl, appreciated my voice. It meant a lot for me. We started talking more and our conversation became longer. Eventually, we fell in love. We lasted relationship for 8 long years. After getting a good job, we planned to move our relationship to the next step. We informed our parents. At my home, they agreed, whereas at her home, they mirrored with red flags. We were at the edge of a breakup. Baishu didn't talk with me for more than a month. After a month, I got a call from her. I picked happily and said, Hey, how are you? She said, I pushed a lot and made you to meet my parents tomorrow at that Vinayar Koil temple. I was happy until she said, Don't talk with your usual tone. Talk masculine voice, no feminine voice. That statement devastated me. The same girl who loved me for 8 years asked me to change it. On that day, I was thinking maybe I was not enough. I was fighting with my emotions, my thoughts, and myself. Life has to move on. And I got married, but not to Vaishnavi, but to my love of my life, my wife, Reshma. Reshma didn't ask me to change anything within me. Because of her, I accepted myself. Because of her, my life became beautiful. And today, we created a beautiful family. Ladies and gentlemen, who designed men should have a bold voice, women should have a mild voice? Who created this kind of rules? When I stopped trying to sound like someone else and started sounding like myself, something changed within me. I didn't become bolder, I became braver. Raju laughed at me. My gender misunderstood by stranger over call. Vaishnavi questioned me. I'm standing in front of you today by unmuting myself. Yes, Toastmaster of the day. I have unmuted myself only when I accept myself. I kept on changing myself whenever I stood in front of the mirror for all these bullying. But today, I love myself, what I'm seeing in that mirror, fellow Toastmasters. Before leaving this stage, I would like to share two things to you. Next time, when you are standing in front of the mirror, don't change it for others. To the opposite. Love it. Accept yourself. And the second most important thing is when you are getting bullied in front of you, or when someone is getting bullied in front of you, unmute your voice. That will make a huge change because the world desperately needs the unique you, and we all will be glowing even more better when we are accepting yourself, ourselves. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, BTM Malini.
Typically, I must say thank you, Toastmaster, but I'll say thank you, sir, because you are out of thank you, madam category now. So thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
And I spoke about Prajapati, and it came to my mind that coincidentally, you have a name that means Prajapati, Durai. Okay, Durai is the king. So you have a name that goes with the theme of Prajapati. And may I now ask our timer about the time taken? Mani Mukund, it was exactly 7 minutes, I think, 7 minutes, 10
7
seconds.
minutes, 15 seconds.
Okay, 7 minutes, 15 seconds. And I
Yes.
congratulate Malini on successfully carrying out the role of the timer for the first time, our debutante timer. Congratulations on that.
Thank
May
you.
I now request our Zoom master to shift our evaluators to the breakout room? We have as our evaluators Toastmaster Vijay and Toastmaster Radhika. May I request, is it Daryl who is our Zoom master?
Yes, I'm just waiting for Radhika's
Daryl always multitasks.
Yeah, we can proceed. They are in the breakout room.
Thank you, Daryl. Now, when I have to engage the audience, I will shift from number 17 and I will focus on this month. April is the month, and all of us know that on the 1st of April, we celebrate April Fool's Day. It's quite interesting to know that not many of us are happy to be fooled, but when we are able to fool others, we are very happy. It gives us a kick, I think, to fool others. Now, I would want any one of you, whoever is interested, I will give you, there is no suspense. It's not like table topics, which you will get later. I am going to tell you what you have to share with the audience right at the beginning. And before that, let me say that the concept of April Fool came to us because of the British Raj. We got it from the British. And they say that when the calendar changed from April being the new year month, the new month, to January being the new month, this tradition of April Fool's Day came into existence. Now, I have 3 things that you can consider. You can come up with an incident where you were fooled. You can come up with an incident where you fooled others, or you may even come up with a particular lie, an impossible lie, a lie which is impossible for us to believe in, but like the tall tale, you can come up with any lie that you think would be impossible for the audience to believe in. So, are they takers for this? You can unmute yourselves and you can say, I would like to speak on any one of the 3. Anyone, any takers? I can see our guest right in front of me because you are on camera. So, can I request you, our guest?
Myself,
Yes.
Malini.
Okay. A test speaker again wants to.
No.
Okay, your guest. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am trying to read the name. Jyotika announced the name, but I'm not.
Anbumani.
Okay.
Anbumani.
Okay, Ambumani. All right. My mom was from Coimbatore, but I haven't mastered anything of Tamil.
Okay.
Would you like to take the challenge?
Sure. As there were 2 guests, I was confused whether you were pointing out me or not. Thank you so much for the invitation. I don't have any other tall tale in my mind, or I couldn't recollect where I fooled anyone or when I got fooled. But as it is something related to evaluation, one of my evaluators gave me a report stating that my speech was like a viral video where I got many likes in it. I couldn't realize that statement initially. Later, I asked what he meant. He said I used more likes in my speech. That's when I got fooled by my evaluator, which I could recollect now. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
That's a very good one. That's a very good one. I think since there is no copyright on this, I think many of us will be using it. sometime in the future, this particular trick that your evaluator used on you, but could be slightly cruel trick that she used on you. So we will have to use it carefully, I think. Deepa, would you like to take the challenge?
Yes.
Yes, I see Deepa's hand
Yeah.
going up.
Thank you, DTM Mani, for giving the opportunity. Okay, I think in 1998, when I was doing my project and with Tata Infotech in Bangalore, that time it was on April 1st. When I reached the office, I knew, I mean, somebody will fool me, especially the gang of girls around me. And I was ready, I mean, not to get fooled, but not to avoid that, their but when my friend came and she told me, "Hey, Deepa, please come here." We just went. I mean, and she was looking really worried. And then she had took me to the washroom, and then she said, "Deepa, there was a snake inside the washroom." Okay, and we were in on 18th floor, and there is no chance a snake was to be there on the 18th floor of Mahalakshmi Building, MG Road. But I believed, and oh my God, I was totally terrified. And then I was about to go and call the security, but then she started laughing, and then everybody came out, and then, yeah, okay, fooled for Deepa, we fooled Deepa. Okay, that was one thing. Even now, I feel like, oh my God, what a fool I was. So that is one experience I thought of sharing with all of you. Thank you.
Deepa, I'm completely with you. Even if I were to be on the 35th floor, if somebody told me that there was a snake anywhere in the building, I would be doubly scared. And it's quite strange because I believe there have been many experiments carried out about snakes with children, and they say that children are not really scared of snakes. But as they grow up, we adults condition them into getting scared of snakes. And that is why D.H. Lawrence also has written a poem on snake where he describes snake as a regal entity of nature, and we unnecessarily shun it and things like that. But I'm completely with you. I have even been bitten by a snake, and it is not an impossible lie, okay? This has happened in my life. I have been bitten by a snake, but fortunately it was not the poisonous one. So I'm still in front of you speaking to you. Anyone else who is
It's
interested?
5 minutes, I think.
Okay, Darren.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you. All right. So is Vijay, our first evaluator, Vijay Prabhudevan, with us? Has he been brought back? Hello, our first evaluator, Vijay Prabhudevan, is with us. Toastmaster Vijay Prabhudevan, I've seen you in many meetings and I've known you for a long time. And every time that I listen to you, your earnestness amazes me. But today, I would like to associate your name with number 17. Your name is Vijay, and it speaks of victory, right? Whenever we say Vijay, it is triumph, it's victory. But did you know that number 17 gets associated with victory? Because I believe Kshatriyas beat the drums 17 times whenever they went on a war, and that number 17 has become a symbol for victory. So I feel that today's 17th meeting goes very well with your name, Toastmaster Vijay Prabhudevan. The Zoom platform is all yours to evaluate our speaker.
Can we just reconfirm the timing, Malini ma'am?
Timing is, Malini, 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, the green flag will go up. 2.5, the amber flag will go up. And at 3 minutes, the red flag will go up. Yes, thank you. Are we ready?
Thank you, DTM Malini, on explaining on today's meeting number and related to my name. Thank you so much. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, especially the speaker, Durai Murugan. Congratulations. You have taken a master class for us how to come out from our shell. Each one of us are in our shell and we lock ourselves and we don't come out of it. Today, you have shared your story and informed us we should come out of it. Let us all go into the commendation part of your speech. First, I like your authenticity about your speech. You shared 3 stories and it is part of your life, whether it is related to Raju or whether it is related to Vaishnavi, all it has happened in your life. And because of that, all the audience and myself are linked to, hooked to your speech very much. Coming to the second commendation, it is about the delivery. The delivery part, you are throughout the speech, you are smiling and showing the hand gestures, especially about Rama, Lakshman, and all this emotions, body language synced with the story. And it added, value added to your speech. Coming to the third commendation is language. The language part I liked very much in your story. For example, these words or give characters to the story. For example, unmute and self-doubt is towards about yourself. And coming to Lakshman, you have explained loyalty and devotion. So this way you brought the characters and visually it is appealed to us. You may want to work on few recommendations. You have told 3 stories. If you could have used the stage in 3 different parts, it could have been made difference. For example, Raju's story, you could have gone to, and coming to the customer service, you could have stand in middle, and for coming to Vaishnavi, you could have gone to the other part. The second recommendation is that the pause. There are so many stories. If you could have transitioned well with the few passes, it could have made the story come to us very nicely. I want to challenge you on one part. There are 2 setbacks in your life. If you could have emoted some setbacks with the dramatic, it could have made a difference. Otherwise, authenticity, gestures sync with the content, language helpful for your narration, and emotions, if you could add, it'll make your story impactful. All the very best, Durai Murugan, for your division contest. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Prabhudevan. Zoom Master, could we have the second evaluator? Is she in the room?
Toastmaster Radhika, can you switch on your video? Yes.
All right, we have, yes, Radhika?
Am I first?
No, the first evaluator has already evaluated. You are the second evaluator and you have been brought back to the main room. Toastmaster Radhika Adappa is our second evaluator, and Radhika Adappa is known for her perfection. I make that remark because number 17, according to Vedic meaning, gets associated with spiritual perfection. And I must say that Radhika stands for both spiritual and material perfection. Spiritual because Radhika, your name is also a divine name. Material perfection because all of us know how much effort Radhika puts in whenever she's given any task. It needn't be any Toastmaster task, any task that is assigned to her. She's the very epitome of perfection. Today we have her as our second evaluator. And Radhika, you know the timing, right? 2, 2.5, 3. 2, the green flag will go up, 2.5 amber, and at 3, the red flag will go up. Are we all set?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Gracing me with such kind words.
1 minute, Radhika, could you say one more line? I feel there is an echo. Can you just say good evening, Toastmaster, to me ceremoniously?
Good evening, Toastmaster.
There is an echo. Is there any
Yeah.
other device that is switched on?
Yes.
Could you again say good evening?
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Yes. Now there is no echo. You're good to go, Radhika.
Toastmaster Dore, what a speech and an inspiring and motivating one too. It is said that the only way to find your voice is to use it. And we are glad that you not only used your voice, but you delivered your speech and managed to use it powerfully for such a meaningful speech. Unmute Yourself was an apt title for your absolutely well-crafted speech. You roped in the audience by ensuring that you interacted with them and asked them about who checked themselves out in the mirror. All of us do. So that was a complete win-win. And your style of enthusiasm throughout the speech made it even more engaging. I just love the way you used your body language, especially when you mentioned about aspiring to be Lakshmana. Why Lakshmana? That made it even more engaging for the loyalty. And that bow and arrow you showed, I mean, you did it much better than I could do it. I must say, the subtle body language really made an impact. We not only heard your voice, but we could feel the enthusiasm throughout the speech, which helped because whenever you used anecdotes, be it the customer care or when Vaishnavi, though she liked you throughout and towards the end, when she still managed to comment on the voice, we could see the dip and we could feel, it made an impact because throughout the speech you were enthusiastic. So there, when you made the contrast, it did have an effect. Now, how you could improve, this is online. So when you had your headphones, maybe that was a little more, it probably restricted you from demonstrating a little more body language. You could have used effective pauses in between, which would have given us time or made more impact. Overall, I would say that your speech had powerful message, that is to accept yourself, and whenever you see or somebody bullies you, not to stop and be silent, but to unmute, because after all, first of all, to accept the unique you. So I say it's a very well crafted speech, having used a very interesting title, subtle body language. But maybe, like I said, to summarize, I would say use effective pauses and I'm sure without the headphones on the stage, you could be able to use the stage and body language more effectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika Dappa. All this while, I think Toastmaster Durai Murugan was nervous. Now it is time for our evaluators to start feeling nervous. But before that, of course, there will be the ballot on the chat box for people to look at the various criteria and mark the ballot for the evaluators. And after that, of course, we will have the timers report and the actual voting. But before that, is the ballot on the chat box?
I've just posted it.
Yes, yes. Okay. Should I give a couple of seconds?
For me, it is mentioned like can't be viewed. Is it for me alone?
Can't be viewed, is it?
Yeah.
For me too.
I think there is a problem with the ballot. It doesn't matter. I'll request the timer to give us the timer's report of evaluation. Toastmaster Malini Mukund, could we have the timing of evaluation, please?
Mr. Vijay has taken 3 minutes 12 seconds, and Radhika Adappa has taken 3 minutes 7 seconds. Thank you.
All right. Now the voting link will be displayed on the chat box. Yes. Yes, there is the voting link on the chat box. I'll give you a couple of seconds for that. I will also make use of it. I now request all of you to switch on your camera so that we can have a group picture of the 17th meeting of Champion Evaluators Advanced Toastmasters Club. So I request all of you to switch on your camera.
All right, everybody say cheese. Or 17, since today's 17th meeting. 17.
17.
Yes, thank you.
Or should we say April Fool, Daryl?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, all of you. Now let's move on to the most important and most significant aspect of this evening's meeting. That is the panel discussion. And once again, Daryl has reminded us of 17. So I go back to 17 once again. And I say that Vedic meaning of 17 is also for completeness. And in Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika, who is our president, we have a complete woman. I can't say Raymond's complete woman because I think that would be inappropriate. So maybe I can say Mintra's complete woman or whatever you want to say. I refer to her as a complete woman because be it in her role as leader, author, orator, trainer, or even counselor, because whenever we have any problem, we can go to her and we can speak to her and she will give you clear-cut suggestions. Her ideas are always clear-cut. There is absolutely no gray area in whatever she says. That is why I admire her as our leader, our captain, and today we have the privilege, I must say, more than pleasure, of having her as the panel moderator. May I request panel moderator, Distinguished Toastmaster Jyotika Shetty, to take charge of the proceedings. And Jyotika, may I know whether you will explain the timing to the timer?
I'll explain the timing now.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Malini ma'am. You really made me feel so nice. Thank you very much. But my emotions also are equally the same for you, and I really respect you a lot. Thank you very much. All right, we have 20 minutes now for evaluating. The panel will evaluate the evaluators for 20 minutes, which means 10 minutes each of the evaluator. So Malini, if you can note down the timing, 10 minutes each. So you could probably show me 8 or 7, 8, 9. And then we'll have, yeah. Where is Malini?
Yeah. I'm here.
Yes. So what we will do is we could probably do 7.5, 8.5, and 9.5.
Okay.
And 30 seconds will be grace to wrap up. Is
Okay.
that okay, or 7, 8, 9 will be better for you?
7, 8, 9 will be
All
better.
right. Okay. 7, 8, 9. And then
Yeah.
we'll have 1 minute of grace just to wrap up the evaluation. So what you could do is show me 7, 8, 9 for one speaker and 7, 8, 9 again for the other speaker.
Okay.
When I say speaker, evaluator, I'm talking about. All right. So I'll let you know about it. It's clear, right, Malini?
There are two evaluators.
We have two evaluators. We have to evaluate both of them. And we have 20 minutes. Okay, so we'll use first 10 minutes where both the evaluators will evaluate the first evaluator. Got it?
What I'm asking is, in between the evaluators, what are the time?
No, that's okay. You don't worry. That's okay. You can go ahead. You can just take care of 7, 8, 9.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Durai, you're raising your hand. Is there a reason why you're raising your hand?
Yeah, DTM Jyotika. My
Yes.
humble request, meanwhile, when you are discussing about the evaluators, if I get some points for me, that would help
Yes,
me
yes, you will. So
really.
what we will,
Yeah.
so I just didn't want to inundate Malini with a lot of information. So once the 20 minutes is over, where we will evaluate the evaluators, we'll then move on to the speech analysis. So 10 minutes is exclusively for evaluating your speech. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, DTM Jyotika.
All right, fine. Thank you very much, Durai. So don't worry, we'll not disappoint you. Okay, so today we have in our panel two eminent personalities, experienced Toastmasters. I'd like to begin with Distinguished Toastmaster Daryl Rodrigues, who is our VP Education as well as our evaluator, one of the panelists today. The second panelist we have here is Distinguished Toastmaster Deepa Surendran, who's also the past District Director of District 127 and our dear member of our club. So warm welcome, dear Daryl and Deepa, to the panel today. Today we saw one speaker who spoke and he touched, I mean, the speech was basically his international speech contest. And we're going to give him some good tips that will be later. But then we will begin with two of our evaluators. We had Vijay and Radhika who evaluated Durai's speech. The speech title was Unmute. Unmute yourself. So I'd like to begin with Daryl. Daryl, let's begin with the first evaluator, that is Vijay. Malini, you can start the timing, all right? So, Daryl, could you give me two highlights of Vijay's speech? What stood out for you when you saw his evaluation or when you heard his evaluation?
Trying to figure out, okay, two highlights during his evaluations. I like the way Vijay started, where he spoke about we are also in a shell and how we have to come out of it, which is the message that he got from the speaker. And that is something that stood out right when he started his evaluation. That's number one. And second, I resonated with his recommendation, where he spoke about using the stage to tell us three different stories, indicate that, and that would leave an impact. So these two things stood out for me when he evaluated during his
All
evaluation.
right. Okay. And what about you, Deepa? What stood out for you in his evaluation?
Good evening, everyone. I like the way he analyzed the three stories. He mentioned about the three stories, and then he mentioned about language because when we look at the parameters in the international speech contest, the grammar is a very good, it is standing out with the 10 points. So maybe it is useful for the speaker. And so these two things, and then he was very sensitive and encouraging as an evaluator. So that also I like.
All right. Thank you very much. So if we look at the analytical quality, which is the first aspect in the ballot, if you look at it, which has about 40 scores, that is a lot. Now, was it clear and focused, Deepa?
I mean, it
Was his
was clear and
analytical
focused.
quality for clear?
Yeah, it was clear and focused, but since it is an international speech contest, we have the judging material for the international speech contest with us. So I would have preferred to focus on the parameters from the ISC judging sheet, but that I didn't see. So it was, we can see very clear, distinctive points in the international speech contest, judging sheet, but that that was missing, except the delivery. For delivery, he commented on expression, body language, and language also, but the speech development, effectiveness, speech value, when the purpose was not mentioned, whether it was good or direct or focus. So those things would have been brought in here if I had to give high marks for the analytical quality. Is that okay?
All right. That's a very good point. Yes, yes, absolutely. It's a very good point. And you also gave an example because I would have come to that, but you clearly said that the speech development is something that you could focus on, noting that this is an international speech contest. All right, Daryl, would you agree with Deepa and resonate with what she said, or do you have something else to add?
More or less, I agree with what distinguished Toastmaster Deepa said, but I felt it wasn't that clear, that focused, because he spoke about even delivery. The three stories were authentic, right? The how factor was missing. How did it stand out, right? He spoke about he was smiling, his hand gestures. It added value, but what value did it add, right? Even when he spoke about language, he gave examples of unmute and self-doubt, and that created a visual appeal. That's what I've written. So that also didn't match for me. Those words did not paint the picture. So I wouldn't say it's very focused or clear. There were points, but if you really wanted to add value as an evaluator, tell us how he did it.
All right. So it would be better if he also focuses a bit on the depth of the analysis, making it a bit more rich. All right. Very valid. Now, he had two recommendations effectively where he spoke about that. I think that was Radhika. So he spoke about the pauses and the three stories. He said, use the stage. Now, we spoke about the commendation where he spoke about authenticity, hooked, and language. So both of you agree with these commendations? Do you think these were well observed? Vijay observed authenticity. And he said,
Yeah, what I was suggesting, sorry. Yeah, continue.
No, go ahead. Please go ahead, Deepa.
So, I felt whatever he mentioned, he felt from his, own experience, like very thoroughly. But at the same time, we, as a evaluator who is trying to help a international speech contestant at the division level, we could have expected a lot more. Okay, so the depth of evaluation was not that very good. But whatever he commented, I really liked it. That was his commendation was authentic. That's what I will say.
Okay. Can I ask someone to switch off the other? Something is echoing back. Is it the same for the others? All right, it's better now. Okay, so three. Can you give us an example, Deepa? I think probably that will help Vijay a bit. Have you observed anything where he could get better?
Okay, so he mentioned about the three stories and how they are connected. Okay, and when we are looking at the what is it, the content, ISC, International Speech Contest, the judges judging parameters, we can see speech development, effectiveness, and speech value. Speech development 15 points, effectiveness 10. And if I take a speech value, it has 25 points. Okay, and this particular speech delivered by our contestant, he it is an inspiring supposed to be an inspiring speech, and the value, the ideas were really good, and the logic was really good, and an original thought was really good. So based on that, how that the purpose would have been, that was limited to the last 30 minutes, though the title says unmute yourself. From what? The stories were continuing with the same tone, and then the impact was, purpose statement was not delivered to the audience impactfully. Though the speech ideas, when that is under the content part, but the impact has to be delivered to the audience through the delivery part of the speech. What is that? The judging sheet. So these two things he could have focused more when he is evaluating the stuff. The three stories. If he just on top of it, it was like flowing like a water. That three stories were connected. That was that. I think that was his statement. Instead of that, he could have analyzed it in a very beautiful manner. with giving more value to that purpose statement. Then only he would have scored better in analytical quality as an evaluator.
Okay, that's a very valid point. Keep the purpose statement in mind when you analyze, and you'll have other elements easily will fall into place when the focal point of the purpose is clear. Thank you, Deepa. All right, now let's move on to just 1 second. All right, let's move on to the recommendations now. Daryl, I'll come to you. There were 2 recommendations that he made where he said use the stage, and you somewhat agreed that the stage part was pretty good. But this is a very small screen. Now, when his stories were quite large, right? They were not small stories. So do you think that he should stay in one place explaining that story? Because 3 places on the stage are 3 different places, right? So is that recommendation really easily adaptable?
So what I would have recommended, what I would say as a recommendation is, of course, you're limited to the screen, right? But you have a width as well. So you could have gone back and used this, shown us that divided the screen that way, or used that kind of a stage. So I'm not saying just because it's a screen, you can move forward and back and also divide it into 3. So
All right.
if in this case of a screen, if it's a V shape, that would help.
Okay. And the second recommendation he made was the pause with the transition. I think there were not many examples given here. So would you like to give some recommendation to Vijay to make it better?
So whenever you give a recommendation, or for that matter, even a commendation, what, how, and why, these 3 questions should be answered when you give us a point. So if you're saying pause, where can the speaker, include the pause, and how will it help the speaker, or how will it help the speech? So
All right.
I think this is something that was not there in that particular point for pause.
Would you like to add something, Deepa, to it?
Yes, please. Because see, now as an evaluator, especially in this particular case, we should understand our purpose. Okay, that's what I feel, because this person is going on stage, not on the screen. So when the recommendation is giving, it's not like dividing, or like the international speech winner WCPS Mike Carr. He used the screen very carefully, very efficiently. But that is not the purpose of the evaluator at this moment, because we know the contestant is going to contest standing on the stage. So my suggestion would have been focus on something else which will add value at this moment, instead of focusing on the speech, the positioning on the screen. That is one thing. And as Daryl mentioned, the pauses would have been, where though he mentioned the transition would have been in between the transition of the 3 stories, we have to have a pause. That is not really a, I didn't feel that, it is really a, practical recommendation,
Okay.
or important recommendation.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll summarize it a little later when we just touch upon the last part, which is the summation. Are you all both happy with the summation that he gave? Could that have been better?
Yes, of course, because see, if we have 15 points for that, maybe I will put it like, the fair category, 0 to 5, max 6 points. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Daryl?
So I heard the summary, but if I was a speaker listening to that summary, I wouldn't feel it. So I think that impact has to come out in the summary, and that
Alright.
impact was missing.
Okay. Now, quickly, a rapid round as far as the marking is concerned. If it was, I don't want you to tell me the scores that you would have given, but which category you would put the
Jyotika,
speaker.
before that, can I mention one thing?
Yes, yes, Daryl.
Vijay mentioned about it being authentic. I think focusing that would have, I didn't find that word very suitable. Instead, if you look at it as a story, how is the speaker a storyteller, right? Using that would have probably helped or elevate the evaluation, or help us analyze a speech better. Look at it as a story, and what are the different elements in a story, how it stands out. So that's something I observed.
Right. It's a very valid point. So overall, so analytical quality, excellent, very good, good, and fair. Deepa, which category would it belong to?
Good at the lower side.
Good at the lower side. What about you, Daryl?
Fair.
Fair. All right. And recommendations? Deepa?
Same, good at the lower side.
All right. Technique? Recommendations for you,
Technique,
Daryl.
Good.
Sorry, good.
Good.
All right. Okay. And technique? Deepa?
technique again, good. Higher side.
Okay. And Daryl?
Good.
Okay. Summation? Deepa?
Good, good.
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 All right. Good. Okay. All right. So I'd just like to summarize for the benefit of our evaluator today, Toastmaster Vijay. Vijay, you have done a good job today as far as evaluation is concerned. You highlighted the point, tried your level best, and it did come out. I mean, there are certain points that our panelists do agree with you as far as the stage, the recommendations on the stage is concerned. However, what is like our panelists just mentioned that keep the purpose statement in mind, especially for a speech like this, keep the purpose statement in mind and all the other blocks will fall in place. So you'll be able to focus well. Whenever you do a recommendation, let it really add value to the speaker. So when you're using words like authenticity, probably you could just use a better word like a storytelling technique or stories that were there that probably would align with what actually the speaker has presented. Be practical whenever you make recommendations, because here when you said pause with transition didn't really was not that impactful. Probably another recommendation would help, and then align it with what you're seeing, because what you see and how you're saying it has to align, because what you saw was a screen presentation, whereas the speaker is going to speak on a bigger stage. So you could have probably thought a little bit better to see how this would help him to present on his stage. And of course, adding depth, the purpose will help you to add depth. So please refer to your ISC ballot as well. That will help you to structure your presentation better. So thank you very much. I hope it's clear, Vijay, with your, would you like to have ask any questions to the panelist? You have 30 seconds to do that.
No.
All right. Let's move on to the next evaluator, and that was Radhika Adappa, who also presented and evaluated Durai's speech. And now, what about the technique? Did you really like the technique here, Daryl, that she adopted? Was she sensitive?
She was, I would say, good here as well. I felt motivated after listening to her to an extent, which is fine.
All right. And what about you, Deepa?
Yes, I mean, I also got motivated. But again, the same thing, what I will say, since it is an ISC contest, speech, it would have been better if both the evaluators were focusing on this the judging ballot.
Judging
That was
ballot. All
missing.
right. Okay. So if you can pick two things that really stood out for you in Radhika's evaluation, what would that be? Let's focus on the commendation more than the recommendation. Deepa.
She was really motivational, and she mentioned about the good characteristics about the speech. She mentioned about the tone, and her tone itself was really assertive. That was really good. And she mentioned about the interact and engaging style of the speech, and then body language and tone. And then she analyzed the stories, customer care. I mean, all those things. So I really liked the way she, dissected the speech and tried to understand how she can add value. It would have been really good if it would have been, I mean, it is based on the ISC
Judging sheet. So Daryl, Deepa has touched upon what really stood out. Now the question to you is, what about the opening? Did Radhika start the speech well, the evaluation well?
So if you had asked me the highlights, I would say the first 30 seconds was the highlight of Radhika's speech. The way she started with that quote and how she connected it to the speech, as well as her first commendation of the title. Since we were comparing evaluators, the first evaluator didn't mention this, and then the second person comes in, talks about it. I think that just elevates her evaluation. So where she spoke about the title and how the speaker started with that question, that was the highlight for me in Radhika's evaluation.
So as far as her analytical quality is concerned, where would you place her in the ballot? Fair, good, very good, and excellent?
Again, I would go for fair.
Fair?
Yeah. because I have written a lot of hows here in my paper.
Okay.
Radhika has mentioned what stood out, but how it stood out did not come out in her evaluation. She spoke about the style of enthusiasm, the body language. Uh, I've written how here, so it didn't. Uh, I didn't find it analytical.
You didn't find the what or the how, you said? Which one did you didn't
No,
find?
the how,
The
right?
how you was missing, right? All right. What about you, Deepa? Where would you place the speaker? I mean, the evaluator?
See, since the evaluation sheet was not given, that's why I'm like, oh, actually doubting myself whether I should put her in good and very good. I mean, lower side or very good. I mean, 25, 26 points in this one. So that is good. But at the same time, I mean, she evaluated the speaker. Both the evaluators evaluated the speaker without having this ISC judging sheet in their mind. That's what I understood. So that is giving, I mean, that is forcing us to give a, bias towards them. I mean, be normal with them. But at hence, they were evaluating the speaker in, with something whatever is in their mind. That is maybe that is the reason they didn't come up with the how or what as DTM Pradit was mentioning. It was very generic, and everybody knows how the body language was good, the expressions were good, so we don't have to explain. I think I'm like okay with the way she managed, and I really liked it. But
All right.
since I am expecting the ISC and the parameters, speech parameters of a good orator, there I am, finding it difficult to give her more marks for evaluation. I mean, so I'll put it like higher side of good, maybe. That's it.
Okay. As far as her
I mean,
recommendations,
we have to be fair.
yes, understand. So her recommendations are concerned. There were two recommendations. She said effective pause, which was exactly like the other evaluator. And she also spoke about the restricting factor, which was the headphone, which I think which is a valid point. But again, it goes back to whether whether this is really something that is relevant. So how can she
Exactly.
improve her recommendation? Deepa, I'll start with you.
Okay. What she mentioned, the one I liked was she mentioned about the message. That was really good, and that is actually connecting with the one of the major content. I mean, the content 50 points in the judging sheet. If she could have, explained a little more on that, it would have covered the speech development effectiveness and speech value of the judging sheet. That would have been actually given a lot more marks in the analytical quality. So that is what I would ask her to focus on in the future evaluations. How the message is given, how effectively the entire structure of the speeches added value or work towards making this particular message effectively transferred to the audience. That would have been a real good. That will be a real good start or base for Toastmaster Radhika to further work on our evaluations in the future.
All right, very valid. What about you, Daryl? Would you like to add something to what Deepa said, or do you have any additional points?
So I think your question was how can she make it more effective, right?
Yes.
What I would recommend evaluators to do is have a list of things that you actually want to observe in a speaker. It could be eye contact, body language, stage movement, vocal variety. Make a list, and if you're observing something, okay, this is what I do, all right? So I'm sharing my secret. Jokes apart. If you're following it, right, give the example there and put a tick mark. So you know that's the highlight. But if the speaker has not done it, say for example, vocal variety, how can the speaker do it? Give the example and put an X. So that goes directly into your recommendation and the tick goes to your highlight. That makes it easier to tell what went wrong or what went right with the example and how it can make an impact. So I think that is something that we can try.
Okay, all right. And did you all like the summary, Daryl? The way the speaker summarized her evaluation?
So I liked the fact that Radhika first gave a one-liner about the message and then summarize. I still wouldn't call it that effective. And probably that's because she was looking at her paper to find out what were the highlights and recommendations she mentioned. So what you could have done to make it effective to grab those points fast is underline those three highlights, three recommendations. So that goes direct when you look at your paper, you directly see that and you can easily articulate it. So it wasn't that effective because I think she was searching for words. So if she does that, probably it'll be a little more effective.
All right. Very good suggestion. Deepa, what about you?
Yeah, even nothing striking was the. I mean, for the summary was like reminding everything told about the positives and the improvement areas. It will stay here, but I'm not able to recollect the words what she used. But I know she used. I mean, she in conclusion. I mean, whatever summarized. That's what I mean. So it was not that striking.
Because even what I picked up was in the summary, she also mentioned about stage movement, where the stage movement wasn't actually mentioned in the recommendations or the recommendations. So probably that synchronizes with what Daryl is saying, that it kind of confuses the entire, it's better to underline and repeat it. All right. So I think to summarize, Radhika's evaluation, while the panelists liked your evaluation, to take you to the next level, there are some things that you could focus on, and that is, first of all, how you prepare for the evaluation. One is, as far as this speech is concerned, go back to the international speech ballot, and probably that will be a very good way to start. But what one of our panelists, Deepa, mentioned here is that start by focusing on the message. And this is applicable to both the evaluators. Start by focusing on the message. How did you get the message across? How did it come to you? Was it effective? And then probably you could also focus on how did the speech development help you understand the message better? And that flow would probably allow you to come together with a very valid suggestion to the speaker. As far as the other panelist, Daryl gave some nice tips where he said that have a list, have your structure properly done, and that structure would probably start with noting down a few things that you would like to observe in the speech. And as soon as you observe it, put a tick mark, and that goes into the commendation. And those that were not there goes into the recommendation. And these are hacks that you could use. Go back to the evaluation sheet. In the evaluation format, I think the second page, you have a list of things like your eye contact, your voice modulation, and all of this. It'll be easy for you to pick. But however, Radhika, your first 30 seconds was the highlight of the speech. It was awesome. And you also connected the theme, or rather the speech title, to the entire narrative that you had. And therefore, we enjoyed your presentation. What you could focus on is the how rather than the what. That would probably help you to gain much more depth in your evaluation. We've enjoyed both the evaluations, and we really enjoyed the panelists' recommendations as well. I hope you will take this as your point of improvement and add in your presentation, future presentations. Radhika, I'll now give you 30 seconds to put across your questions to the panelists, if any. Radhika, are you there?
No, I accept their suggestions, and they are right. So it's been quite valuable. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Radhika. Now we'll quickly move on to the speech analysis. So Malini, probably you could restart the timing. We have 10 minutes here. 7, 8, 9. Malini, are you there? Yeah, okay. Now we are analyzing the speech, Malini, so it will be 7, 8, 9. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Thank you. And can we also spotlight the speaker? All right. So welcome, Duray, and congratulations on this beautiful speech that you have presented. Unmute yourself. Now it's time for our evaluators to evaluate your speech and give you some valuable recommendations that you can that will help you to shine on that bigger stage. So let's start with Daryl with the speech. Now let's go back. What I would do is I'll go back to the international speech judging form ballot, and we'll look at the speech development. Daryl, what is it that really made the speech stand out as far as the speech development is concerned? Or let me simplify the question. What are the 2 items that stood out, 2 to 3 items that stood out for you as far as the speech development is concerned? Daryl?
Yes, 1 second. All right, for me, um, I like the way he started asking us that question, right? And of course, all of us reacted, and he acknowledged our reaction. So we felt included in the speech. That is number one. Second was how he took us through different stages of his life and the situations that he was in. He went one by one. So I think that also stood out for me. Uh, it
All
gave us
right.
a progress, right? So yeah,
Okay.
that used to
So
think.
as far as the opening is concerned, did it grab your attention? Raise your hand if if you stood in front of the mirror.
So I'm going to say partly because the question got my attention, but he could have, uh, you know, uh, used his voice there as use his voice to accentuate that question. Because and especially there were two questions, right? So one, yes, and the second because we all want to look good. If he had used his voice, so partly yes because of the question, voice could have been could have
So
accentuated.
his entire speech was based on the voice. So do you think it's a right thing for him to use the voice from the very beginning?
For that question, I think it would have been okay. Because later on it was the definition of what type of a voice, right? For that question, I think it would have been fine.
All right. So as far as the structure of the speech is concerned, are you happy with the structure of the speech?
So this was just the introduction. I think towards the conclusion, it got a little weak for me to actually understand uh, why should we unmute ourselves or how we should unmute ourselves. I think till the story, it was fine, but the conclusion was a little weak for me.
What about you, Deepa? Do you think the structure of the speech was good or any improvements there?
Structure, I mean, I think there are three stories, and that is a normal way of Toastmaster speech. But one thing I didn't understand, I mean, can I?
Yeah, please go
Hope
ahead.
it's
Please
like,
go ahead.
we can be blunt, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
you're going for, Dura, you're going for the division, so we want you to win. Okay, so that's why, I mean, please don't feel bad. Though you are, I mean, why I feel like, telling you in the upfront, because I felt you are like a very softy. And during the entire speech, you are like acting as a very soft person. Okay, but please don't take it into your heart. So, the speech, as Dorica mentioned, it is about the voice. Why we are, standing in, it's like, seeing ourselves, right? I mean, so what is the connection? You understood, no? My question, like, mirror is our looks, voice is something different. So, when we are giving a message about our voice, what is the relevance of standing in front of the mirror?
Okay. Uh, am I supposed to answer?
Go ahead, Diray, no problem.
Okay, yeah.
You can
Yeah.
ask her.
Sure. Thank you for the pointing out that DTM Deepa. The thing is like why I have chosen the mirror means whenever I bullied by someone, I stood in front of the mirror and I hated myself. Even though we can't able to hear our voice in the mirror, but I hated myself for that bullying. Yeah, that's why I took mirror.
Okay. But I didn't get that from your speech, and I was doubting whether did I miss something or whether it is relevant, because this speech is going to the division. So maybe you can did you pick up your phone on this particular day when somebody I mean today when somebody called you? Maybe that is a better question. I mean, just think about that when you are starting. I don't want to confuse you, but if you find it relevant, then something related to the voice would have been a better question to start with. Okay, regarding the speech development, I liked the three stories, structure, organization, but we have to make it very distinct, as our first evaluator mentioned, with poses or something like different, because from the story, as Ditim Daryl mentioned, when the story of Vaishnavi suddenly came in, then so I'm using it. I don't know, maybe Vaishnavi's name would have been incorporated in the second that particular story itself. That came along with the third story, along with the Reshma. So I don't know whether that is the correct way of doing it. I don't think so. So from Vaishnavi's story to Reshma's story, it would have been like, kept differently, two different things. Because you are going, when you are mentioning the third story, the listeners, I mean, the audience should understand that, yeah, okay, from here onwards, this person is giving us the message. That feeling should have been created, and you are that change in you would have been transferred to the audience as well. Yeah, this that Vaishnav, whatever Vaishnavi has done, didn't motivate you. For that, maybe you have to have a clear transition between these two stories, which was not at all visible at that moment. And then you have to have a different body language. You should use different voice, and the appearance also. And then maybe if it is a big stage, your position should be according to this particular intention. That's
All
what I
right.
will say.
Now, just to give you a little bit of depth, Durai, I'm going to ask a few questions to the. All right. So, DTM Deepa mentioned about the message. Message came late or something. You just mentioned, right, Deepa? At 5 minutes, you didn't get the message clear, right? That's what you mentioned.
Yeah,
Now,
last 30 minutes only. Yeah. But
yeah. So,
the title is the message, but we
right.
could have repeated that, in every story. That technique is there, no, repeatedly transfer the message to the audience. So
Right.
maybe the speech development, the content can be rewritten in a slightly different way, reminding the message to the, repeatedly reminding the audience.
Okay. Because around I think you had crossed 5.5 minutes when you actually asked the question, who defined men's voice should be like this and voice for women should be like this? I mean, I timed you. That is where I'm saying. And so I think to a certain extent, you have to think of bringing the message a little bit, or even the realization of the message, what you're trying to put across. Now, one aspect here is that you all started off by Deepa asked a question, why did you bring the mirror? Now, if you go to the last two questions or two things of myself, you said, I want to share two things of myself, you said, and you said, accept yourself and unmute your voice. Now, I don't know if you want to reword that. Do you think he should reword it? Now, there are two messages that came out of this actual speech. One is accept yourself and unmute your voice. So, do you think the speaker must decide between what message he should pick? Do you think clarity is lacking here and he should work on the clarity?
Exactly. I mean, I think that the last two lines was like, accept yourself is brought in here to, incorporate that mirror thing. Because that is not what you're trying to say. Whatever you are, I mean, accept yourself is there for accepting your voice also. But, unmuting yourself in whichever situation is the message. So, in international speech contest, I mean, when we evaluate two messages, we don't encourage two messages. So, that too, what Aditim Jyotika just mentioned is the exact thing. You don't have to incorporate the mirror thing here. Maybe that will avoid a lot of confusion.
So, Durai, I think you have to take a call here, which message you highly resonate with and which message your entire plot is aligned with. Because two messages will be a bit risky and probably that will dilute the effectiveness of your speech. That's something that you have to take. Now, also humor. I think Durai had a bit very, very subtle humor, or probably opportunities to improve the humor quotient here. What do you all recommend? I'll start with Daryl. Well, Deepa, I know you're ready, but and you're smiling.
No,
I'll start with Daryl. Daryl, do you think he can play with humor here?
Yes, he can, especially with that conversation he had with Vaishnav. I think it was Vaishnavi or somebody he spoke to who said, "Hello, ma'am, I'm sir," and then went
That's
on
a
to ma'am.
customer service.
Customer service, right? Yeah.
Yes.
There is where he could have brought out humor, because I'm sure people will definitely laugh when someone calls you hello, ma'am. I mean, as soon as someone hears that, they will definitely laugh. And then
Yes.
when you say, I am sir, again, no, and they say again, hello, ma'am. There are two interactions there where you're definitely going to get people laughing.
Right. So, anything
Yeah,
else, Daryl, or can I move?
yeah, you can move ahead.
Deepa, what about you?
Yeah, that is a big opportunity. You can even use his body language and voice variety over here. Like, uh, she is calling me madam. Oh, Something like that, that is a very good opportunity to introduce humor. And then one more thing, people feel bad when you are using that Vaishnavi story, that in that discussion also, if you can hurt yourself a bit more and you can express it that, little bit more with a humor, that will, that is an opportunity to score more. Being pathetic, being the victim, something like that. You're trying to win. Okay, so make your story not just a story, but a dramatic story, dramatized story.
Right. So Durai,
even when he
yes.
was called Sita, when he was playing the role of Lakshman, right?
Yeah,
So
that is also true. Yeah,
self-deprecating
correct.
humor will
Yes.
definitely help.
Exactly. It will help.
Yes.
So 3 opportunities, correct.
Yes. You have a lot
Am I the Sita?
But
Something like that, with action. Yeah, it will be really good.
Yeah. Probably you could take help from people who are good in humor and then see where you can place your humor. And like Daryl mentioned, self-deprecating humor is a very, very good way to connect with the audience. And from the very beginning, you had a lot of opportunity to connect with the audience. So I think so far our conversation, few things that you could take care is one is identify whether that mirror is really required. I mean, the question part is really great, but if you're using the mirror, then probably your last message should be aligned with that mirror to bring more sense into your actual rhetoric question that you're asking there, or the question for the audience that you have. Also, humor is something that you can start sprinkling from the very beginning. You have a lot of opportunity, and also probably try to bring in your relevance of your message much early rather than post 5.5 minutes, because it's too late to bring in the actual message. So probably you could bring that. I mean, you spoke about insecurity, low confidence, and all of that, but probably you could connect with the audience asking if they were insecure as well. When was that moment when you were insecure? Something like that, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Daryl and Deepa. So, is there anything else that you would he can do? What about his mannerism, his voice, his physical appearance? Everything was good, or his body language could even be enhanced?
More impactful voice and impactful body language, because you're a changed person now. That's what we want to see. Okay. Then only you will inspire us. If you are you started the story as a softie and ended the story as a softie, that is not actually giving us some inspiration. Okay. That is one thing. And then also the volume, flexibility, pitch, the physical, all those characters, you may not score well. Okay. But manner, okay, it was direct and enthusiasm was there. But the work on the physical, the first two parameters of the judging sheet. And one thing, please check on. I mean, though we'll say that we are not no, native English speakers, but work on one thing, Lakshman role. So the role of Lakshman or Lakshman's role. So that S was missing. I mean, these small things, maybe it will give a chance for reducing marks over there. And then heard, that was heard, right? So the grammar and pronunciation. I mean, I know even everyone make mistakes, but whenever we get feedback, I hope you can correct it easily. That's what I
Yes.
meant.
Anything else you would like to add, Daryl, to that?
Yeah, couple of things, Jyotika. First is in Durai's speech, I heard his friend calling who called him Raman, I mean Sita, right? You had a friend, you had Vaishnavi, you had the customer service, but everybody sounded just like Durai, right? So if you had brought out, you had different characters, but how are they different, right? That is number one. Second, I think DTM Deepa covered this where uh, it started with a soft voice and ended with a soft voice. You were not powerful. Uh, where you can be powerful with those impactful lines, you also need to pause, right? There was a question where you said, I was not enough, and then you continued. But you're asking us a question and you want us to think. So those pauses are also very, very important. One more, this is probably I just when I heard it, there was that relationship for 8 years that you had. Um, that particular part of the speech wasn't clear to me. So focus on enunciating your words clearly so the audience hears you and feels you. I hope
Yeah.
it's not a lot of information, but this is what I felt.
Yeah, and the area where I think he's also talking about, I got married, not to the same person, or there you can put a pause and twist it and bring in humor there as well. Not to her or not, but to Reshma, because everybody thinks that you got married to her the way you, or you can create that climax there by saying that everybody thinks that you got married to her, but to someone else. All right. Is there anything else the panelists would like to add and help our speaker today to improve his speech? Is there anything more that you would like to
Very
add?
good speech. It is a very good speech. Very good. I mean, very innovative. I mean, new way
Original
of. I
idea.
mean, original. Yes, yeah. So please work on it. Get 3, 4, 5 people's help, and then improve the script before you go on the stage. This is a brilliant speech. I mean, the tech speech, unique speech. So all the best.
Yes. Daryl,
Um,
any parting
yeah,
words?
5 sleepless nights probably will help you earn the trophy.
All right. Duray, do you have any questions for the audience or not the audience, for the panelist?
Yeah, I'm so happy to get these points from you, Daryl and Deepa and Jyotika Shetty. Thank you so much for bringing up all these points. I'll definitely work on it, and I'll before getting into the stage, and I will rewrite my script, and can you please review it for me? Based on your comments, I'll rewrite my script and I can share it with you. Can you please review the script?
Who do you want to
It's only
review the
5
script,
days.
Deepa or Daryl?
Yeah,
So if
all
it is
3
only
of it.
5 days now,
No, it is only 5 days left over.
My.
I mean,
Yeah,
is that okay to rewrite and then by heart? Will it work
yeah, that's
for you?
that's fine for me.
He's going to take an
And
unpaid leave, I think, for the next 5 days, and he's going to sit.
I mean, please touch the script only if it works for you. I mean, not because we told.
yeah,
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
felt that mirror and voice was not connecting because I felt like give me suggestions if it is like this. Raise your hands if you heard your voice over phone. Keep raising your
Heard.
hands heard. Keep raising your hands if you loved your voice when you are hearing from phone. Will it work, this question? Because I'm thinking of when you are
I mean,
giving me
we are
suggestions.
always any person who can speak will hear. No, I mean, so I
I
mean,
didn't
how can we answer?
personally. I didn't hear my voice, like recorded voice. I didn't hear. I felt like demotivating for me. After joining Toastmasters, I started hearing my voice. I started seeing my videos after joining Toastmasters. That gave me confidence. Yeah.
You're too good, yeah. I mean, but I mean, changing the script, I don't know. No, that question, I mean, it was not I mean, it was not impactful as the mirror thing.
Hmm.
Maybe we need some more. I mean, I'm not getting the idea actually.
Okay.
How can we change this question? We need maybe more creative people.
See, how many of
Maybe
you
Malini ma'am?
raise
No,
your hand
can I
if you.
come in for a minute?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
No, since he has only 5 days,
Thank
a total revamping of the speech is not at all suggested. And I feel the mirror thing is effective in itself,
Yeah.
except for the contradiction of the voice and the face, right? So if he overcomes that, for example, you can still raise the same question. Raise your hand, those of you who looked at the mirror in the morning. Raise your hand if you liked what you looked at. And then you say that I was one of those who could hardly bear to look at my own face, not because of my face, but because of my voice. Do you know what is the enigma behind this? Let me explain to you why it happened. Then you move on to say that, see, things can be interconnected, no? You might not like yourself because of what people have said about your voice. But then ultimately, you dislike yourself. You dislike yourself itself. So the mirror is perfectly okay in that scenario. As far as you clarify it, you say that it's because of that you can't bear to look at your own self.
That's a
So
good way.
stick to
Actually, you got
the
the solution.
pattern. Don't change the pattern, because when you have 5 days more to go, if you change the pattern and don't substitute that pattern with something that is equally effective, you may regret attending this meeting.
No, not like that. It's very helpful for me actually. I got many points which I need to work on.
No, I'm saying that in case you can't come up with something equally effective,
Yeah.
you will certainly have a sense of dissatisfaction at the
So
end
this
of
one, this was really good, Dipti. The
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
she
towards
connected.
towards
That
the
was
end, towards the end, the two takeaway points he can club and make it into one by saying, today, when I stand in front of the mirror, I totally embrace my unique self rather than expect the world to embrace me or something like that. You know,
The
towards
same
the end, we
thing.
can club it.
The same thing.
Mm.
Two messages: accept yourself, unmute yourself, right? So
Yeah,
you can
unmute
club, as
yourself.
Radhika said, you can club those two things by saying that Toastmasters, the minute you accept yourself, there is no question of the need to unmute yourself, because you
Yeah.
will have the confidence to unmute yourself the minute you accept yourself. You can say that the equation is as simple as that. Acceptance and unmuting will be hand in hand, or whatever you want to say.
Today, I have the courage to unmute myself because I've managed to embrace my unique self, something like that.
Yes.
All right. I hope you have not, I hope the suggestions are not heavy on you, Durai, and you're
No,
able to do some
definitely.
valid changes. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
And all right, now it's time to just wrap up the entire evaluation. I think you've really got some pearls of wisdom that you could apply. And thank you to Deepa and Daryl for your suggestions, and also to Malini ma'am and Radhika, who gave the suggestion towards the end. And I wish you all the best, or rather, we all wish you all the best, Durai, for a successful division contest. We hope you're able to move on to the district level.
Yeah.
With that,
Sure.
I would like to conclude with that. I'm not summarizing again because I've already summarized it earlier, Durai. Do you want me to summarize the?
No, I'm perfect. It's
Yeah,
good for me.
okay. All right. With that, we will now conclude the speech analysis segment as well, and I'll now move on or hand over the stage back to, or the screen back to DTM Malini Hepar. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. The session has been for more than 30 minutes by our Trinity, so I felt that they gave a tough competition to Shankar Mahadevan in their evaluation and analysis, evaluation of the evaluators and analysis of the speaker. But I appreciate the honesty with which you did it, because we are here after all to help one another. So I was reminded of Carol Dweck's idea of growth mindset. She says that the minute we think that we are good, we have reached our best, it is the end of your growth. It is the complacency that would make you say that. And you must always think that the best is yet to come. So that's why we are here. We all believe in the idea that the best is yet to come. And that best is possible only when we get feedback, right? If we just look at ourselves as we are, and think that, okay, I have this weakness, I have this strength, in both those areas, we might be wrong. We might be wrong in overthinking about our weakness. We might be wrong in our overconfidence. In either way, we can be wrong unless we take feedback from others and improve ourselves in giving a boost to our morale, as well as probably curtailing sometimes the high opinion that we would have of ourselves. That's when the Johari window works, when we get feedback from others. So I thank the moderator and the panelists and the evaluators for all the inputs that they have given. And I congratulate Toastmaster Durai for the very interest he has shown in coming to another club and making a speech there in front of total strangers, because even in your own division and you won't have such strangers. You will have known faces there. So you have shown real courage coming here. So congratulations on that. And once again, we are Navaratnas now. The number has come down to 9. And Malini Mukund, I must say that thank you very much. I think if at all somebody did not enjoy the meeting, that would be Malini Mukund. All the time looking at the time, because I always feel time as rule is the toughest. Now I think Jyotika has the privilege of giving the closing remarks as well as announcing. Today we had only 2 evaluators, so announcing the better evaluator. Deepa Duraiswamy, Deepa mentioned it, but she did not complete it, because we all have this colonial hangover. The minute we get suggestions for improvement in English, we feel that it's an insult and it's a humiliating experience. So Deepa was trying to be very, very controlled, moderate. but she didn't give you the right pronunciation because she must have felt that it would be mature to do that. But I will do it because all along my life I've been a teacher. The only thing I've been doing is that. So the thing that she was trying to tell you was, which will stand out if you don't correct yourself. Although, as the evaluators have said, language has not as much importance as analytical quality and all the other areas are concerned. She was trying to point out heard. Here is the present tense. Heard is the past tense. That's what she was trying to tell you. Okay. Back to Jyotika.
Thank you very much, DTM Malini. Let's give Malini ma'am a huge round of applause for that classic masterclass, not only as a TMOD, but also as an evaluator. Thank you very much. I enjoyed the meeting, Durai. I hope you're not going to leave this meeting confused, and you're really going to be enriched with information, with knowledge, and a bit more ideas. Lovely meeting that we had today, and I'll quickly announce the winners. We had 2 evaluators today. Obviously, only 1 speaker, so there is no best speaker here. Durai is the best speaker today. And our evaluator today, we have a tie. And we have both Radhika and Vijay, who are the best evaluators. Am I right, Daryl? I hope I'm not making a mistake. Yes. So hearty congratulations to Vijay and Radhika for being the best speakers. Share the stage, share the limelight, share the spotlight. Hearty congratulations. With that, I'd like to take the privilege, now it's time for me to conclude today's meeting. We'll meet again in another 2 weeks' time. And let's prepare for the next meeting. Till then, good night, good day, not good day, safe, good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Right.
Good night, all. Thank you so